Hey everyone, Andrew here from a Tale of Two Hygienists podcast. Yes, you are on the right feed, but no, this is not a normal show. I wanted to let you know right now that what you are about to hear is not suitable for work. It is likely also not appropriate for children. If you are sensitive to racy topics, go ahead and hit that delete button right now. You might not like this episode. But now that you've been warned, please welcome to a special RDH RANT Takeover episode with Heather, Anna, and Liz.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of RDH RANT Takeover. I am your host, Anna, and joining me today are the usual suspects. Heather and Liz, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So for today's episode, we figured we'd dive into a topic that I think every hygienist can relate to, and that's burnout. And no, I'm not talking about being a burnout, although that might help with that might help with burnout. I'm talking about the feeling we all feel of like the monotony and, just feeling burnt out about the job in general. The why, the when, and what we can do about it. And, why this is such a big phenomenon amongst hygienists.
I don't know if it's
just like all of a sudden.
Do you think it's just hygienists, or do you think it's like all fields?
That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm sure that many professions feel burnout, but maybe it's just because we are in, we are admins of a RANT group. We see it more, but I feel like it's more rampant in dental hygiene for some reason.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to dive into the why and how to fix it. Like what we can do to kind of fix that. There's like a statistic that says something about the average hygiene career is only 8 to 10 years. And that's crazy to me.
That's short.
That's insane.
Yeah. I remember them telling me that in school.
I don't.
I know Liz did some research on some statistics about hygiene. So that's going to like lead into the why. Yeah. So what you got, Liz?
Yeah. So I saw somewhere, I can't remember which group it was, but somebody had posted the some of the results of the dentalpost.com or .net or whatever it was. So I looked at that, and they basically compile a bunch of statistics for all dental field, like not just hygienists, but I was specifically looking at hygienists. And it said that this is all relative to anything that's a comparison is from 2022 to 2023. Yeah. Okay. So wages are up from 2022. They're up 7.57%. Wow. Okay. I think that a lot of dentists would say differently, but that's what
they're going to say it's up 50%.
Yeah.
Yes. The median salary is $79,000. Of course, we all know that is going to vary from region to region.
Of course.
Let's see, wage, and here's the variance here. Wages range, this is going to blow your mind. Wages range from $21
Alabama.
an hour.
I was going to say Alabama.
To $115 an hour.
Whoa.
Okay. With 45 being the median, $45 an hour is the median.
Do you think that is like just
experience?
Like your base pay, or do you think that's like with
I think
benefits?
with $115 an hour, you're getting bonus. Like there's no way you're doing that. You're not getting $115 an hour just straight. You're getting, you have your hourly, and if you're getting bonus, that is definitely a possibility to be making over $115 an hour even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Experience, as far as how many years you had in the field, that did not matter when it came to pay. There was only a 2.5% difference among like whether you had been in the profession for 4 years or whether you'd been in the profession for 20 years.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So time in really didn't matter. Benefits from 2022 to 2023, benefits were up 19%. So they went from 70% of dental offices offering some sort of dental or some sort of benefit. Now, benefits can range from like medical all the way down to paying for CE.
Okay.
But so now it's 89% of offices offer some sort of benefit. The biggest benefit being PTO, which vacation time, paid time off, paid holidays, approximately 70%. Okay. This one really kind of blew my mind. Dental is only offered as a benefit in 46% of dental offices.
That's crazy. That's
Isn't that
insane.
nuts?
I don't think I've
Hold
ever
on.
worked in an office that didn't offer like dental benefits. That's insane.
Well, so
Yeah.
okay. Again, let me clarify. Like only 40 whatever percent offer dental benefits as in like an actual dental insurance, or dental benefits as in, oh, you work here, so you and your immediate family get stuff for free.
It did not specify, but I am going to assume that since things in there like scrub allowance was
Mhm.
included, that it means in
Yeah.
office
Yeah, just like
benefits just because you're an
yeah.
employee.
Okay.
46%, so less than
Wow.
half. I have like 3 question marks right next to that in my paper. 30% of offices offer some sort of a medical benefit. And I thought this was really interesting. Only 14% of offices offer any sort of bonuses. Now, whether that's production bonuses or profit sharing bonuses or
14? You said, did you
Christmas
say
bonuses, it didn't
14%?
specify. 1-4.
That's crazy.
What?
You know what's the craziest
I thought
part
that was, like,
about that is
standard.
What?
when you offer an incentive or a benefit, like a bonus like that, I feel like it benefits not only the hygienist, it benefits the office, it benefits everything. Like it's just,
well, yeah.
I think every office should have a bonus program because
It's like an incentive to work
work harder. Yeah. And like
Mhm.
do your job, but I don't know. But go ahead.
Regarding benefits, 47% of the people who responded were satisfied with the benefits in their office, and 28% were dissatisfied with the benefits in their office. Now, keep in mind, there were only 933 respondents to this survey. So that's not a whole lot. I mean, we have, 3 times?
13,
I can't
13,000
however many
members?
times. We have
13 times.
Yeah, we have like
times
13.
that,
yeah.
Yeah, but when I looked up,
that right?
how many, Google, how many hygienists in just the US, and it was like 100,000, and we only have 13,000 of those girls and men, ladies, gentlemen.
Yes, and guys. So getting into more of the things that are relevant to burnout, some of the statistics about turnover in offices. In 2023, 20% of the respondents had changed employers in the last year. The reasons for that, 57% changed because of the location. They needed another location. 54% changed offices because of pay, and 52% changed offices because of environment. They wanted a better work environment.
Which is crazy. That's more than half. Like, that's insane.
Yes. Thought that their office was bad enough that they wanted to leave to find greener pastures.
Well, I think that was made available more recently, maybe for the jump, is because after COVID, so many hygienists left this field.
Yes.
And so there's more openings, whereas before it was so saturated that even if you weren't happy with your environment, maybe you still felt stuck because there was nobody else hiring.
This was kind of a staggering statistic. There were a couple of them on here. 38.9, so almost 40% of hygienists are actively looking for a new job. So
I believe that. I mean,
I was like, whoa, that's
I actually
crazy.
feel like that's low compared to, since maybe we have all 38% in our group.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
it didn't say new career. It said looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So switching, that could be career or office.
Yeah.
33% of those people are looking for higher pay, and 30% are looking for a better work environment.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the thing I found interesting was in the next 6 years, 34.5% of hygienists are looking to retire from hygiene.
Wait, what percent?
35.
That's crazy.
Wow. So the shortage
Hopefully the schools are pushing out more than that to offset it.
Of course, some of them were older. I didn't write down the statistics of all of the respondents, but some of them, of course, were older, and it was probably time. You've been in it 20 years. Your hands are probably like, yo, let's stop doing this. But the highest percentage of those people that were looking to leave hygiene had only been in it for 3 to 6 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. So
3 to 6 years and they're done.
So we put a post up in RANT asking, are you burnt out? How long have you been practicing? Why are you burnt out? And I think the biggest response of people, the biggest reason why people gave was where they work. Like it's the environment of where their office, specifically.
A toxic environment.
Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with burnout. I think the monotony of the job has a lot to do with burnout because it's not very, it's the same thing over and over. Yeah, you do an SRP. Yeah, you do a pedo patient, then an adult prophy and sealants, but there's not a lot of different things that we're doing throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So it becomes somewhat monotonous. Our bodies, this job is a killer on your body. So do you guys?
Anna,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you saying these things because it's what you read or what you personally are feeling? Do you personally feel burnt out?
I do right now. I currently actually do, which is fairly recent. I'll say within the last month or so, I've started to feel burnt out. And I'm not sure if it's a temporary thing. I don't know if it's just like a phase I'm going through. I think entitled patience is a big portion of that. Like where we have, I don't know. Yeah.
100.
Yeah. I don't know what has happened in the last few years, but I feel like patients are just more entitled and, they want what they want and they don't care.
They don't know what's good for them.
Yeah. Like they just, I've dealt with so much rudeness more recently. I feel like,
is this the first time you've ever felt burnout? Ever
I
in
think
your career?
so. Like, I mean, I feel burnout on a day where I'm like, God, I wish this day would end, but
yeah, well, yeah,
I think for me also is I feel like I'm on stage all day. I'm not I know that it's hard for people to believe, but I'm not extremely extroverted generally. Like if I'm in an environment where I don't know people, I get, I'm just a little taken back, but at work I have to be.
Well, just from our personal interactions, obviously, how I am with interact with my patients and how you interact with your patients is complete opposite. So for you to say you're exhausted because you feel on every day, and you're not even your patients don't know if you're married, if you've got kids, if you're an alien, you tell you have no small talk. You don't talk personal stuff.
I mean, we do. I mean, we do, but it's generally more professional, I guess you could say, like a professional relationship where, I mean, some patients know some things about my personal life, but I'm not a big sharer of personal business regardless. That's just not me. I never really share my personal life with people. But I feel like I have to be on, hey, how are you? Where I want to be like, get the fuck out of my chair,
or you just don't feel like talk. You don't want to make small talk.
And it's like, every time I've said this before.
I just can't imagine you though making small talk though.
I'm not a small talk person. I'll be like, hey, how are you? Stuff like that. But I'm not going to be like, I had a patient today that was like, oh, are you the girl that saw me last time? And I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, do you remember me? My son was getting married and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I remember that. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't fucking remember that. But I was like, yeah, how was it? Show me pics, where in normal life.
Yeah.
I fake, it's just it's fake and I'm not a fake person. So for me, it's extremely exhausting. Just mentally, it's it's so out of my comfort zone. So I feel like that has a lot to do with my burnout, is just being on all day. And, even if you give it your all, you still get that complaining patient that I had. Today was one of those days, actually. I had one today where I was just, I had explained to her, all I said was, due to your history of decay, you've had a lot of decay. I'm going to recommend sealing some of the unrestored teeth, to prevent future decay. She went up to the front desk and said that I told her she had cavities and I was rude about it. And I was like, I didn't tell her anything like that. I was like, what? She was upset projecting. Yeah, she was upset that I had said to her that, due to your history of decay, you've had decay in so many teeth. I'd like to seal whatever virgin teeth you have to prevent future decay. And she
Yeah.
took that as me degrading her. I was like, okay, like, so it's
That
like,
is
even when I
like
try to
a-
be on, I guess I'm not on. I don't know.
No, that is like a person that you're not going to win because they already feel embarrassed, I guess, about having a cavity where we're
I
like, okay, it's
guess,
a
yeah.
cavity, whatever. It's a cavity, it's not cancer, we'll fix it. Here's what's causing it so you know how to prevent it. But I think some people are just like so maybe embarrassed that they have cavities, or especially if they have more than one. And
I
so
guess.
it's like
But
they
like,
feel
that's my
They
job.
feel like it's an attack on
Yeah,
their
but that's
and
our
it's like-
personality.
job. And I'm not.
it is
yeah,
our
it's
job.
like-
So most people,
Yeah.
yeah, I know most people don't understand. Like, it's our job to tell you your breath smells.
Mhm.
It's our job to tell you you have bone loss. It's our job to tell you have cavities. But that's why you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
But they
Like,
do. They take it as a personal attack.
Yeah. So I don't know. Today was one of those days where I was like, oh, I gotta get the hell out of this place today. But
So perfect
Mhm.
Yeah, but-
timing.
in my body, I think actually that's probably the least of my complaints. Like, yeah, my body hurts. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm 47 and I've been doing this for 23 years. I would say that the job has a lot to do with the pain that I'm experiencing, but it's not that far off from, I think, what a normal 47-year-old would feel.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? I talked long enough. I mean, like I gave you my whole
I like
story.
She's like, I'm sharing my feelings. I gotta stop. Okay, girls, go.
I feel like I'm the same as Anna. I feel like the mental burnout is more than the physical burnout for me. I haven't been doing it as long as Anna, but I am older than Anna. So, like, I'll have pains that come and go. I always deal with kind of thumb pain. And then last week, like, my index finger started to be a little bitchy, which is not good because I definitely need that
Being a little
finger
bitchy.
to work. So I've been resting it this week and I may get some splints for it, but I feel like, I'm pretty good at, resting what needs to be rested. Kind of building on what Anna said about, I don't know why this profession attracts so many
Mhm.
introverts, because I feel like it does. Maybe it's just because we kind of have some empathy and we like to care for people, but then it also just sucks us dry. And I'm tired of coming home from work and not having anything
Yes.
left
Yes.
to give. And on the weekends, I just want to decompress
Yep.
and rest. And so I feel like in my personal life, I'm not getting anything done. And I don't even work full time. I mean, I work 25 hours a week. That's getting ready to go up. Yay. But but I thought, and kind of going along with that, I thought that reducing my hours per day, because before I was working like 3 10-hour days ish. So it was about the same amount of hours, but I thought that reducing my hours per day to 6 would really help with the burnout, and it absolutely did not. So I don't know. So I went through kind of a respite, or I don't know if that's the right word I'm using.
I don't even know what that means.
But I was really
Respite?
burned out.
Respite means like respite. I think
I
of like
was
respite
really-
care. Like if you're a
I
caregiver
don't know
for
what that is.
somebody and you
Like-
give them a break.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I was feeling a little bit of a break from the burnout. I was really burned out from perio. I didn't realize how burned out until I left perio. I was really burned out and didn't realize it. Went to a new office, and then I kind of had a rally. Like,
Yeah.
I felt
Mhm.
better about the burnout. But I've been there almost 2 years now, and I'm starting to feel it again. And office, if you're listening, don't worry, I'm not planning on going anywhere. But yeah, I just, 2 years in, I'm starting to feel it again. Like, I guess the novelty of being in a new office and seeing new patients has worn off.
That's why I think a
but
lot
I
of hygienists
do-
temp. Now that you mentioned that, like a lot of hygienists have moved on to temping because it's a new environment every day. So it's not as monotonous, I guess you can say. And it's not like the same environment. So I feel like a temping is less burnout, possibly.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
have heard that from our
Yeah.
members, is that they like temping, not only does it pay more, but also they don't have to deal with office drama, office
Mhm.
politics. If they see a patient who's an asshole to them, that they never have to see that
Exactly.
person again or worry if that person's on
Yep.
their
Yeah.
schedule. So I could see the draw. I just don't think that my anxiety could handle
Yeah, like if you don't know.
going into
yeah.
a different scenario every day.
I did it for
Right.
like 3 years.
But,
I
yeah.
think, I liked it a lot, but I did it for 3 years until I found the office that I'm in now, which I've been in for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I've lasted, I think, a long time without burnout, but I'm starting to feel it. I'm not going anywhere, but if they didn't pay me so well, I would. But
Not about the money.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it is. Unfortunately, I got bills, girl.
We all got bills.
My bills have matured into Williams.
It's all about the
Well,
Benjamins.
Yeah. So I think I don't know about Allie, but I feel like so there's Allie, Ashley, Anna, Liz, and myself for
Mhm.
admins. And I'm not sure about Allie, but I feel like all of us are burnout. And Ashley, who just like started again at a new office, like she was at home, a stay-at-home mom. She's just working part-time. But for me, like I worked in a really horrible office, and obviously that's why I created RDH RANT. And I wouldn't say I was burnt out there. It was just like toxic. And I didn't feel burnout because I still liked what I did, but I just couldn't do it with those people anymore. And so, but it's almost
Mhm.
like you're afraid to move on because it's all you knew. Like that was my first full-time job.
Mhm. Yep. You put up with a
And
lot of shit when you're afraid to move on. You put up with
yeah,
a lot of crap. I know that.
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
that. And I don't put up with shit. There was an
Yeah.
office though that I stayed at for way longer than I should have, and there was a lot of crap going on.
Well, the one thing I can say, like, people hear the name RDH Rant and they're like, ew. But it's not ew. It is like a whole community of hygienists that all know what we're going through. And it's not just about like bitching and complaining and whining and crying. Like, how many people like have personally messaged you two? Because I know I get personal messages that are like, oh my gosh, I live in a small town USA in a little corner of the United States, and this is all I've known. And I have put up with so much abuse, but I thought that's all there was out there until I joined your group and learned it's okay for me to say no. It's okay for me to stick up for myself. It's okay for me to quit and go find somewhere else because that's
Exactly.
not good behavior. So, yeah. So I, started a new job, and then I'm like, ooh, hello, hi. Yes, I created RDH Rant, but I do love my job in my office now. But I feel burnout. But I can be very honest. I was very honest with my bosses a few months ago, and I just said, I'm burnt out. Like I just am burnt out. And I know that you see me struggling, and I know that like I'm not probably doing my best at catching things and doing things because all I can think about is getting done. Like my head and my mind's just not in it. And for me, like the first thing I thought of that caused this was COVID. And I know. Everybody wants to blame everything on COVID. And
no,
I'm
it's
not like
true.
that.
3 months off.
Yes, I have
It was
worked.
heavenly.
Yes. Since I was 14 years old, I have held a job. And so, yes, as I grew up and got older and, went through jobs and then careers and then different career, like, you get a week off, 10 days, but I have never been off for months. And after I got past that, holy shit, are we going to survive? Like, am I going to pay my bills? Am I going to lose my farm? Like, it was so nice. And I think my office was shut down for about 8 weeks. And then the governor said, oh, yeah, dental can go back. And
we
I
were
feel like
shut down for 3 months here. Entire 3 months.
Yeah, well, New York is,
I was 10 weeks.
I mean, we were hit hard, but I mean, I hated, I'll be honest though, although I loved it, like I liked not having to go to work and still getting paid. I can say that I didn't care for, homeschooling my children and things like that and being home with my kids. So I did become a little bit of an alcoholic and an overeater. I think I gained like 20 pounds in those 3 months.
Well, I think that you're not alone. You were not alone.
No.
Everyone was like calling it the COVID-15.
Oh
But
my
for
God. I
me,
went to go try when we found out we were going back. I went to go try my scrubs on and I got them like to my thighs and I'm like, holy shit, I can't get them up. I can't get them up.
you're gonna be like,
I was like, I
be
need
like
to
you're
crash diet for the next week or two.
just don't be like your old assistant and go
Mm.
commando. So when you
Yeah.
split your
Yeah.
pants,
Exactly.
I don't know, like because
Yeah.
I'd never been off like that before, and it was nice for me. I was the opposite of most people because I had at the time 4 kids, and then getting an extra kid during
Mhm.
COVID time, and then my life was just so go, go, go. I worked full time. I had 4 to 5 kids at any given time, practices and games and this and that and band, and it was just like go, go, go.
During COVID, you had
So
practices and games?
no. Sorry. I'm sorry. Back up.
Oh,
Before
I'm sorry.
COVID.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All
Before
right, I
COVID.
gotcha.
And so it was like get off work and then run. And I'm like eating late. I'm just going through drive-throughs because we don't have time. But then at COVID, like everything stopped. The whole world stopped, obviously, for a while. And so I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. And the kids, I didn't have to run the kids anywhere. And so I was able to actually like cook and eat healthier and take time for myself and organize my house. And it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
I did nothing
So-
productive. I was so bad. But go ahead.
Well, I completely spring cleaned my entire house, but you wouldn't be able to tell that now. I live with
Yeah.
all boys. But
That was 4
Yeah,
years
if your house
ago.
was still organized and whatnot from 4 years ago, I'd be like, damn, Heather, you're good.
yeah, you know me.
Almost exactly 4 years ago.
Yeah. So I always kind of threw it at COVID.
Yeah, I agree. I think that has a lot to do with it. Coming back
Yeah,
was
But I
not
will agree with
easy.
you,
Kind of changed
Anna.
everybody's
Like,
brains a
I
little bit.
love my patients. I love my patients. I love my coworkers. And I love my bosses. But there for a while, you get so wrapped up in things and running a business, I'm sure, for my bosses, and you have to make money and you have to be profitable. And my office, the one thing I love about it is we love to learn and we love to do new things. And like in my small town USA, we're like the most technology driven office. Like we have every gadget out there you can imagine. But I think
Yeah.
sometimes it gets overwhelming because they're like,
Yeah, of course. Because like, oh, we're gonna add iTero. Oh, we're gonna add laser. Oh,
Yeah.
and you still have
Yeah.
to do all that in
Mhm.
30 minutes or
Yes.
whatever.
It's like, okay, now we're going to do sleep apnea assessments. And now we are doing Botox for TMJ pain. But then now it's also moved to cosmetic because, why not? And then do you have acid reflux? And let's talk about
It's
that.
too many
And
things
then,
at once. I feel like they need to
Yes.
initiate, like it's like a lot at once, and nothing's ever initiated to perfection. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
where, okay, we
right.
did that, let's do this,
So then I was so worried about
Yeah.
making sure that I talked about all those things that I noticed when they had sleep apnea, that I noticed this, I know, that I felt like, okay, I have like 10 minutes to hurry up and clean their teeth. And and a lot of patients were getting annoyed at me because they're like, dude, I'm here for a teeth cleaning. Like, leave me alone. Just clean my teeth.
Yeah.
And I can totally
Mhm.
get that.
Yep.
But my bosses are awesome. So,
I do
when we
too.
had a team meeting for the hygiene department, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I became a hygienist to clean teeth. And although I don't mind saying, hey, I see signs of sleep apnea in your mouth, or, oh, you're clenching and grinding, you can't wear a night guard like me. Hey, guess what? Botox works amazing. But can we like schedule them back for a consult? Can we not sit in my chair and talk to them about it and beat a dead
Mhm.
horse? Because now I'm like 15 minutes behind. And so it's just, I feel like that was some of it. And then just
Mhm.
like me being more grumpy with COVID and everybody just kind of being a whole lot more introverted. You get the patients that come in and they're, dealing with stuff and they're grouchy. And I always say that dental hygienists should always be we deserve Oscars and Emmys because we are a different person every hour.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
what
I
I
don't
say.
mean that
Yeah.
in a bad way. Like we're not fake because I honestly care
Oh, I
about
am.
these people. Well, all
I
right.
don't. I'm only kidding.
Whatever. I actually care, but I feed off of people's vibes and their personalities, and I can read people well. And I
Yeah.
do make those connections with them, and I love them. But it is
Yeah.
exhausting at the same time by the time you get home, and it's like I don't
Yeah.
have anything left for my family because I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything.
I'm joking, by the way. I don't mean that I don't care.
I know.
I know. I'm just like fucking
Anna
around.
is like, you're a mean girl.
I'm not. I'm real.
Just kidding.
I'm real.
You're honest is what you
Yeah,
are. You're
I'm just honest and real. Like
you don't mean to be. You're not rude, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because you're a New Yorker. People think that like, ooh, she's being like shitty, but trust me, Liz, can you agree with me? Anna has like the biggest heart in the whole entire world.
I mean,
just like Liz. Like Anna's
no, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be friends with Anna. She wouldn't be one of my sisters if I didn't think that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, there's a. I think that you can be yourself at work in front of patients, and it's a different type of yourself.
You're professional.
Because I'm also myself at home.
But it's a different type of
but
self.
I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be at home. I mean, so my daughter, she went to a work event with me and helped. It was like an open house that we had. And she went with me. And when we were cleaning up, she just looked at me and she said, "Who are you?" Because she had never seen the professional side of me. Yeah. But I really try to be relatable, but not fake. Yeah. Because I think that patients can smell that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But anyway, I feel like we're getting off topic.
We should get back on topic.
Well, no, that's part of burnout though. Like part of burnout is being and adjusting to our patients' vibes. And that's hard every day, in and out. And that does wear on you mentally and emotionally. So yeah. And also I drive home like what Anna said, like you get bored. It's prophy. If you're in one of those offices, prophy, it's the same and it gets boring. Mm-hmm. And I'm a person, I like change. Yeah. I love change.
So maybe you should temp. No, I'm only kidding.
I get bored. Yeah, no, like I did and I used to. And yeah, trust me.
Well, I'm scrolling through and I think that's one of the big things that I'm noticing with these posts is that a lot of people solve their burnout by changing their environment.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest things. So now that we know what's causing the burnout for hygienists, what are the solutions? Because we always, it's one of the things I always say is like, if you have a problem, what's the solution, right?
Yeah. You don't go to
and I think number one is if you're feeling burnt out, look around you at the environment that you're in and decide am I feeling burnout because of am I feeling burnout because of where I am or because of the job? A lot of times I feel like it's the job that you're at. Because as I said, I've been at my office for 8 years now. And I do assisted hygiene. So I see way more patients than the average hygienist. So you would think after I've been doing assisted hygiene for years, but you would think after 8 years, I'd be more burnt out or I would have been burnt out more. But my office is literally drama-free. I have autonomy. Nobody bothers me. I do my job and that's it. I do it well.
You're not micromanaged.
I'm like best friends. Yeah, I'm not micromanaged. I'm best friends with my doctor. We're hanging out this weekend. But so I feel like environment plays the biggest role. So if you're feeling burnt out, maybe a change in environment is necessary. Number one. Number two, I think, is like taking care of your body. Stretching, getting massages. I have an inversion table that I purchased.
Yeah. Chiropractor, like I'm on speed dial with chiropractors and massage.
Chiropractor. Yeah, I think those are
I
big
invest
keys
in
to
myself
not feeling
too.
physically burnt. Yeah, you
like
have
I
to.
have
you
a
have
saddle chair. I have loops. I like anything I could do to make it so my body, which I've never really had a lot of body issues until recently, but that's my own fault because I'm old and dumb and I went ice skating and I fell. So now my back hurts, but it wasn't because of dental hygiene.
Yeah. What other what other solutions can we think of? I'm trying to think of no, it's true.
I mean, you just have to be very.
I think it's hard because I think a lot of the I think there's a lot of systemic problems with dentistry overall that we are. I don't want to say powerless to change, but I think so much of dentistry's issues goes back to insurance And the reason that we are burned out is because doctors are trying to cram so much into production to cover their overhead. And, we can't blame them for that. But at the same time, some of these doctors don't realize that, we're human. And I'm not talking about any of our specific doctors, because we've all established that we like our workplaces. But Spring has said that a lot of times people feel Stockholm syndrome, where you don't realize that you're you tend to like your captor, right?
Yeah.
Because it's comfortable. Right. And so I think that that's something that a lot of hygienists, they don't really see. They've got Stockholm syndrome. And they don't want to really look outside because they think they have it good. And there are so many times where people are like, maybe the grass is greener, and then they leave the office and the grass is mud, So, but going back to what I was originally saying is that changing the way insurance is, I think, would have a profound effect on the industry as a whole and our profession and how we are treated by a lot of offices, not all of them.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fight that.
There is no way to fight it, unfortunately.
There is no.
I'm not a lobbyist.
You live in the USA. It's the, home of the free and home of all your dreams and
corporate states of America.
So,
how unfortunately the way healthcare is built in America is it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business.
It's a business.
And and I hate that because it's healthcare. But at the end of the day, it is a business. We do not do this to not make money, and that's a mindset in a way, but it's the truth. There's a lot of animosity between hygienists and doctors because of that, I think, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we see it. I mean, we see it. Like, I've been very fortunate that, like, I feel like all of us in my office get along, from doctors to assistants to hygienists. I mean, we all respect each other. We all know we work hard, but that's probably one of the biggest things I was shocked about in RANT is all the like just hate between departments.
There's a lot of animosity, and I don't know if some of it is well deserved and some of it's not
for some people,
but
some people probably do like are asshole hygienists and make
like
them. So
here to tell you that is true.
So
but what else can we do besides
self-care?
Self-care.
Besides
what
self-care,
else?
Besides changing scenery. I mean, ultimately, you can look for a way out.
Find a whole different profession.
Look for a way out of the op.
Gosh, and that is like huge. Like,
I don't know if you guys are in, what's her, I want to make sure I get her name right. I don't know if you guys are in Carrie Carter Chairless's group.
No,
about the burnout.
I'm not in any groups.
She has a group on Facebook about dental hygiene burnout. And she has, me too. I love her. She has kind of made a whole career about burnout because she was burned out. So, there's a lot of ideas that go around her. If you guys want to follow her group, she has a lot of ideas, a lot of posts. She posts a lot of job postings that are out of the op. Some of them you're going to take a step back and pay, but you have to, is that worth it? And I think for some people it might be.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you can step back and pay a little bit.
Work-life balance. The work-life balance is another one. Like, everyone's like, oh, you only work 4 days a week. Well, yeah, because if I work 5, I'm crippled for the whole weekend. So people that aren't in hygiene don't understand it, but it's hard.
It's funny, when I first graduated, I was with someone else other than my husband, and I remember telling his cousin that, I took this job, it's about 33 hours a week, and she's like, why aren't you working 40? And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this job is not a job that you work 40 hours a week. It's not. You can't do it. I can't do it. No way. I remember Montana used to work I think it was 50 hours a week. She was working 6 days a week. I'm like, how? I would die. I would literally die.
Yeah.
There's no way. I do maybe 28 to 30 hours a week, and that is enough. I can't do more than that. I won't.
I work one Friday
I
a
would
month.
cry real
Yeah.
tears. Like I can't imagine not getting that break.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't. I mean, just
Yeah.
mentally, that seems so overwhelming to me. Like I want to cry for her right now
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's so overwhelming to me. I can't imagine having to interface with that many people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oof.
I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of ways, like, self-care can be anything from journaling to massages to vacationing, like whatever it is
To
that
being a
makes you.
burnout. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah. Go smoke some pot.
I have seen that some people, instead of switching careers totally, I've seen that some people mix it up. Like they'll work 2 or 3 days of hygiene and then they do something completely
Yeah.
different. Like they're a
Mhm.
bartender.
Yeah. I don't know
on
if
the
I want to
weekend,
do
and they're
that
like,
because I feel
I
like
make more money
that would be
bartending.
worse. Like, I already
That's
feel like a
more being
therapist.
extroverted. That's being extroverted
Yeah.
again.
But I mean, I'm not
No, I know.
saying like
Yeah.
like for
Yeah.
us, but for somebody with that, and then some people go back to school completely. And we've had a few people that have gone into real
Mhm.
estate. They've become
Mhm.
teachers.
Gosh, that's a big.
Not just
that's a
like
big pay
hygiene
change.
instructors, but like elementary
Mhm.
school. Is her name Hillary in our group? She became an electrician.
awesome.
Oh yeah, her and her husband have their own
like
company.
her and her husband became a
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I
she
hiccuped.
became an electrician. So, I mean, I'm approaching 50. I don't think I'm getting out of like, dentistry, period. Although, I'm open. Hey, if anybody's listening, I'm open. I did have a patient last week who he told me he's so sweet. He told me that he retired and he does real estate. He retired and he decided he didn't like retirement because he was bored, but he had already hired somebody to take his place in the company. And so he called her and he said, I'm really bored and I don't like retirement, so I'm coming back. He was like, but I'm going to go ahead and keep you on payroll because I don't think it's fair to hire you and then fire you just because I'm
Mhm.
bored. And I was like, so what does
Yeah.
she do? And he was like, she doesn't really do much. And I was like, dude, are you
Yeah,
hiring?
right.
Like, can you hire me to do like not much?
Where do I get that gig? So anyway.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just going to become a stripper. That's it. I'm going to be a stripper.
Oh, not me. Nobody wants to see that. I would.
No,
lose
nobody
money,
want to see this. Nobody wants to see this, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
I would. Yeah. I'd be begging for hygiene. Yeah, I think
And
burnout
dancing?
is just all. Yeah, and it also has a lot to do with like your personal life. If you got a lot going on in your personal life, so you're getting stressed in personal life, and if you're getting,
Oh, yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
multifactorial, and
Mhm.
yeah, personal for burnout.
We're coming into the spring. It's starting to get
Yeah.
warmer, at least, in where we're from.
Yeah.
It's starting to get lighter outside. And I feel like a lot of us, myself included especially, do tend to come out of our shells a
Mhm.
little bit when it's better weather. We get over the winter blues. And that
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
mean, I'm in a better mood.
Anna, what do you keep putting on your
Oh,
forehead?
it is a, I don't know. I think it's Earth.
Is it a sticker?
No, it's a, like one of those pop-it things.
Oh, like a little pop top.
Oh,
I know.
you're
I'm going to
gonna
hit
give
you.
us
I'm going to get a
something.
hit.
Jeez Louise.
You guys can't see this, but if you could,
No.
I'm putting like a pop-it thing that looks like an Earth on my forehead, and I'm going to end up with a.
It looks like a diaphragm.
Oh, it could be. Or one of those
like a
cups, those
period.
menstrual cups.
Yeah, period cups. Yeah.
A
Oh
diva
God, I hope
cup?
it's
You
not
got a
that.
diva cup stuck to your forehead?
But
That's funny.
All right. Well,
I don't know. Is there anything else we'd like to add to this? Do you think we got everything? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Do you guys feel refreshed or do you feel less burned out?
No, not
yeah,
really.
No.
Maybe at some point we could have Carrie on the show.
Yes,
I think that'd be
absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
And have her talk about burnout. I'd love to have her on the show.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. So anyway, well, I guess that's all we have for you.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook, of course. We are 13,200 now.
Ooh.
We verify all licenses just to make sure that our group is a safe space. You can also find us on Instagram, which is public. And I will say that Instagram has kind of taken off in the last month.
Woohoo!
We've had a lot of new followers, a lot of traffic, a lot of activity going on. It's been kind of fun.
Yay.
So anybody, we've got a lot of students who follow us.
Yeah, anyone can follow us on
And
Instagram.
then TikTok, what's that?
Sorry. Yeah, I said anyone can follow us on Instagram or TikTok. You don't have to be a hygienist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I usually cross post everything on TikTok to Instagram. It's just Instagram just tends to get more activity. I don't know if their algorithm's better or whatever, but you can also follow us on TikTok if that's your jam. You'll find the same stuff there, and anybody can follow us on either. So yeah, or if you have any ideas about what you would like to see on our show, if you have any ideas about what you would like to see on Instagram or TikTok, just send one of us a DM. Other than that, it's time for us to sign off and time for you to floss off. Love, peace, and brush your teeth.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.